Okay. And whoa.
Okay. I don't know why it's taking so long. What the hell?
It always does.
Okay.
I always start at 57.
It's 59 right now.
Okay.
Can I have that, please?
Mm-hmm. We hear you both.
I don't see that it's. I don't know how Danny gets it, but I don't have it yet.
I don't know. Danny gets sound from a different place.
Sound is good.
Sound is good. There you go. Now we have sound too, Danny. There you go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard as the clock keeps running, and today we've got a lot of stuff going on. James Caprion has a question. King Hap has the answers. Owens, Chris from Cambridge, the answer premier. Danny Fuller, King Hap, Owens. Roto Lady is here. She's sitting right next to me.
And today on Sunday, it's a couple of birthdays. Oakland boys, rookie sensation Mike Bordick, and the late, great Dave Henderson. Happy birthday, fellas.
Mike Bordick was never a rookie sensation.
He was a rookie prospect.
He was a rookie. But he was never a sensation.
Okay,
he never made it as a great player.
All right.
Never made it. He wasn't a very good player. He was okay. He was adequate. Zelmo, good morning. Triple play. Triple play yesterday gave it to me big time.
No, he says you do a better job than Biden at running the country. That's what he meant, right?
Oh, is that what he meant?
I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. But I got a couple of messages from a couple different people saying, is that a very rude comment in the chat room? And I said, no, I really think triple play just meant that Lenny would do a better job running the country, and you should switch spots with Biden, and he would just come on to the podcast and be in silent because he wouldn't know what to say.
Okay, well, I'll take that.
I think that's what triple play meant.
I'll give triple play the benefit of a million doubts on that one. Good morning to Boston Paul. That's the premier. Everybody's here. Who did I miss? Owens. I got it right away. Owens. Owenisms is right here. SM King third, and away we go. And it was very interesting, I thought, that...
What's interesting? Is something interesting?
Very interesting that the All-Star game, people are saying how baseball losing its luster and the whole thing. The All-Star game knocked it out of the park. Over 7.5 million viewers. Right?
Across Fox, just on Fox channels. Yeah. Fox Deportes and Fox Sports streaming services. Between those three, it was the most watched All-Star event in sports, and it was up 6% from last year.
Yes.
Why is that, Leonard?
Because baseball is still very popular, and the All-Star game is a good show. But I haven't met one person. I know we talked about this, so I won't linger on it. But everybody says the team should wear their team uniforms. I haven't met one person. Is there anybody who says that the teams should wear the uniforms of the leagues, the National and the American, and not their home teams? So that's the only thing. But the All-Star game, very popular.
Leonard.
Almost as popular as when they had two. Now, James Capton asked a question about Juan Yepes. So let's get right to it. As he got called up early in July, he had an 11-game hitting streak.
Wait, was James K. not here yesterday? Because I talked all about Juan Yepes yesterday.
I know he did, but he's back. He's here today.
I guess he wasn't here yesterday.
He asked a question.
All right.
And modest power. He's got 6 doubles. He's in the whole thing. He hit a home run the other day, but he'll be the first baseman. Okay, until Joey Gallo returns from the injured list.
And Joey Gallo is not expected back until the end of July. And also, how this is kind of a situation where how does Joey Gallo get his job back, even when he does return?
I know, he's under 200.
This guy used to hit home runs at least, which made up for the fact that he hits so bad that his batting average will cause fantasy managers to lose single-handedly. But here's my thing. We're going to see a lot of these teams that can't compete for the playoffs. It's time for them to start giving their youngsters a little taste of what it's like in the Major League Baseball. They're not trying to win a World Series at this point. Juan Yepes is going to keep that job in the lineup, no doubt about it, when Joey Gallo returns, if he continues to hit. And he's been hitting great. I really like the kid. If he's available in your leagues, why not take a chance on him? Of course, the saying always stands that a rookie's a rookie is a rookie.
Okay,
he's better than Gallo.
He's doing a good job. And you talk about teams that are trying to make the playoffs. The Arizona Diamondbacks have come out of nowhere. 11 wins in the last 16 games.
No problem, James K. No problem. He had family stuff yesterday.
11 wins in the last 16 games. They have, a 50-48 record. Percentage points behind the Mets for the final National League wildcard berth. And plenty of teams remain in the mix. So it's a hot stretch of play. Indicates that the reigning National League champs are getting their form back, and they've had multiple injuries within their rotation.
But on July 1st, the general manager, Mike Hazen, said that he was hoping that his club would be in a position to add players rather than subtract at the trade deadline. And as Lenny just said, 11 wins in their last 16 games. The Mets are right there. Why do I say the Mets? Because the Mets are also fighting for a playoff spot, and I'm rooting for them. But either way, the Diamondbacks, I don't think they're going to be sellers.
Right.
If we're going just by what the GM said on July 1st, and I'm happy to see that the Diamondbacks are getting their together.
All right. Let me ask the chat room. Does anybody have Max? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Schumann. Anybody have Max Schumann?
Or maybe it's Max Showman. Schumann is what I think.
Does anybody have him? Max. SCHEUMANN. Look, every single day we do a 45-minute podcast. We talk about players, and Max Schumann's name has never been mentioned. And I'm not really, and Malpaut's name has been.
There you go, Boston Paul. There you go, contributing to the tidbits. Now, he brings up an interesting point. First of all, the 11% walk rate is excellent. You hardly find players that walk as much as that these days. And 17% strikeout rate is also a good signal of plate discipline. There is a situation with his batting average on balls in play, as Boston Paul points out with his Nuggets, .457 batting average on balls in play. Now that's going to come down, no doubt about it. But as in the same tidbit, you point out the walk rate and the strikeout rate, which tells me that he does have good plate discipline. So his batting average on balls in play is going to come down, but he's still a good hitter. So let's see what happens there.
Okay.
Good job, Boston Paul.
Boston Paul on top of his game. There you go. Luis Severino. Wow. Nobody knows what to make of him. How many in the chat room have Luis Severino?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Are you happy with his performance?
Yes.
He very impressive in Miami with 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 91 pitches. His ERA is now 3.58.
Now, whenever he uses his sweeper more than 10...
What's a sweeper?
I have no idea. What the hell is a sweeper?
I don't know. These pitchers, they all come up with new pitches.
It's some kind of off-speed pitch with movement, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Or is a sweeper fastball? I have
no. It's
got to be movement.
It's got to be a curve.
Yeah, okay.
It's got to be a big-time curveball.
All right, well, whenever he uses that pitch more than 10% of the time, it tends to be a good day. Now, speaking of Mets,
yeah, well,
you got Kodai Senga.
Oh, my gosh.
Struggling in his rehab start for AAA Syracuse, and I will bring up the daily Trevor Bauer. The Mets could use Trevor Bauer. Kodai Senga, 3 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, and only 1 strikeout. 79 pitches, 47 of them were strike. His velo was down a bit, 94.1 miles an hour, and that's fine for me because I like these guys that don't throw their arm out all the time. Anyway, Kodai Senga is just in rehab, so how much we should put into this is questionable, but boy, oh boy, the Mets could use Bauer. And speaking of the Mets, who traded off and got rid of Max Scherzer's contract, he had the shortest outing since 2021 yesterday. 2 innings pitched, 53 pitches, 4 runs, and only 14 batters. Well, I would say only 14 batters faced, but when you're facing 14 batters in 2 innings...
Yeah, that's pretty good. And he didn't factor into the decision against Baltimore, but Scherzer said, and this is what you have to really listen to, he felt he had some arm fatigue, and after deciding to speak to Bruce Bochy, the manager, it was best not to go out for the 3rd inning. So if you've got Max Scherzer, I would be a little concerned about him making his next start. Okay, that's for sure. Okay, Chris from Cambridge says, "Is Bo Bichette the next Trevor Story?" Okay, all right. First of all, when Trevor Story was playing, he was one of the top players in baseball. I cannot give that honor to Bo Bichette, even on his best day. Okay? So anyway, Scherzer 53 pitches, but he faded, 3-time All-Star, spent almost 3 months on the injured list to start the season. He had back injury, thumb, forearm.
Still a monster, though.
Yeah, so look, fatigue.
So what do you think? Is he hurt because he's had back, thumb, forearm injuries already this year?
If I had Scherzer on my team, I would not be counting on him. He's on track to start Thursday against the White Sox. So
how does he have fatigue? It was just the All-Star break week, and he probably had a day off. He says that the fatigue is a short-term concern, and the removal from the game was precautionary. But when you pitch like that for 2 innings... how precautionary is it? You're faded, dude. You're faded. You're 39 years old, and he will be monitored. This is like there was a good chunk of years where Max Scherzer didn't need to be monitored, but I guess he's now once again like a little baby. He needs to be monitored every day. He is on track to start on Thursday against the White Sox.
And that's a good thing. Yeah. At least that'll motivate him to come back.
At least he's got an easy matchup right
and start against the White Sox. Talking about that, but did you tell Laura to come in to the chat room?
Oh, we should send our vibes to Laura.
She's here already.
Okay, good. Okay.
She's here already.
Whenever I send my vibes, Laura, you come around. I must have already done it today.
I was looking at an article talking about the worst players in the American League since May 1st. And boy, oh boy, take a look at the play. Summit left field is not great in the American League. I mean, Adolis Garcia, Joey Adell, Gavin Sheets, Mark Canha, Alex Verdugo, Ty France, Dominic Smith. I mean, it's terrible. Taylor Ward, they're all hitting around 200 or under. Joey Adell hitting 158. Adolis Garcia hitting 172. These are all left fielders. So, remember, next year, okay, you've got to get an outfielder fairly early. That's what I've learned from this, because there's a big difference in the good outfielders and the bad outfielders. There's a lot of bad outfielders out there. So it's a very legitimate issue, and if you play a game where you have to have a designated left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, it's tough. White Sox
SM King Turd says Scherzer's a hold. Not hard to see yesterday coming. He was very lucky not to get destroyed by them the first time. The Orioles are ending our season. He's speaking from a Texas Rangers fan point of view, Leonard.
And White Sox is correct. Fly ball hitters will have a lower BABIP than ground ball hitters. Just the way it is. Fly ball easier to catch. Now, how excited should we be? Mike Trout is expected to begin a AAA rehab assignment. Normally, this would cause us for a celebration, but it ain't happening.
What about this? Leonard Donaldson wants to know, is Victor Robles finally reaching his potential? In 38 games and 62 at-bats, he has a home run and 10 stolen bases with the .274 batting average.
Well, I would say, as you remember, I liked Victor Robles at the beginning of the season. He didn't pan out. Year. He's coming on now, but I'd like to see a little bit more. I'm not making an investment in him yet. I like him. If I can get him, I will take him, but not if I have to make an investment. And if I have to pick him up somewhere, it depends on who the competition is.
Did you already talk about the worst players in the American League?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I said about outfielders.
Right. The worst players in the American League since May 1st in left field.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Gavin Sheets is on there. Mark Canha, Joe Adell. Did you read them all?
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
Are you here?
I was in the chat room.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you in for Julio Rodriguez in the second half of the season? Julio. He was, in some cases, a number one pick. I think he's going to explode in the second half. And I'll tell you what, the Seattle team is really a very interesting team. The Mariners are batting .218 as a team, and their pitching staff is the best in baseball. But the Mariners are batting .218, and they don't have to face their own pitchers. There's a possibility that the Mariners could be hitting under 200 by the end of the season.
Woo-wee, King Hap. Wait. Pablo Lopez had 7 Ks. He needs like 11 more of those, okay? But King Hap, didn't you bet that Pablo Lopez would have less than 206 strikeouts? That's what I think.
Yeah. Can I have my coffee? I think.
If you promise not to spill
I
it.
won't spill it.
I have to put the lids on the coffee cups over here now for Leonard because he likes to spill them on his keyboard.
What about Julio Rodriguez? I say definitely.
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
He's going to crush it. If there's any prop bets on Julio Rodriguez for the second half, King Hap, you should just bet over on all of them because he's about to wake up.
Okay,
that's me.
And what about Corbin Carroll? You know, his first 92 games, he had 3 home runs.
Yes.
His last 4 games, He's had 3 home runs.
I think he's another one for the second half.
There's Corbin Carroll coming on. Okay?
And King Hap says he wants only 2 to 3 strikeouts per inning. And I got to tell you, Pablo Lopez is also on the second half list of players and pitchers that are going to wake up. You have Colt Keith on there, and I like that one for sure. How about Ryan Pepio, the former Dodger?
Right.
Now he's with Tampa Bay.
I like Jake Cave. He's with Colorado.
Jake Cave.
But he's always been a hitter, and you got to think that the Colorado offense is going to wake up at home.
I get to go to a Colorado Rockies game at Coors Field August 8th with my friend who I grew up with, Rachel.
Oh, you are? You're going. Okay.
And that will make only 5 ballparks left to get all 30.
St. Louis, Kansas City. Who else?
Houston, Texas, and Toronto.
Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, everybody's talking.
I got to get a damn passport to go to Toronto.
Yeah,
Mine's expired.
Oh, really?
I'm not trying to go to Canada, but I will, because once you get to that close, right, Leonard?
Yeah, you almost have to do it.
Yeah.
Jackson Churio is really doing a great job. And, he's not even talked about that much as one of the best rookies. 3 hits and a game-ending diving catch, and he ranks in the top 10 in hits, runs, stolen bases, and home runs. Jackson Churio, although he's not mentioned in the same breath as as some of the big boys, he is one of the big boys. So, Jackson Churio. Okay. I told you about the Mariners hitting .218. They are 30th in. Here's the problem with the Mariners. They have a great pitching staff. They're first in WHIP. They're second in earned run average. That's not bad.
They suck with hitting.
Their batting average is 30th, and their runs scored is 27th.
And Owens says that the Mariners need to move on from Jerry DiPoto if they don't make the playoffs. What do you think of that?
Well, I've never seen a team so strong in pitching and so weak in hitting.
Oh, yes, it happens all the time.
Not like this. First in WHIP, second in earned run average. That's pretty tough to do anyway. And then last in batting average and 27th in runs. Mariners got some. It's obvious they got some work to do, and I think they're going to do it. We talked about
Nestor Cortez.
Wait a second, I'm not done yet. We talked about the. Now you get me off my game.
I'm sorry,
okay? Leonard. So you talked about Rodriguez, the superstar from Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. I wonder if Rodriguez could be on the market. Okay. On the trade market. Now,
hell no.
Very hard to trade your best hitter when you're trying to get hitting. So that's really not a good idea.
Well, Turd brings up the fact that most of the brand name prospects from earlier in the season are playing pretty well all of a sudden. So, okay, we'll give you that. But they still can't make up for where you had to draft them. But speaking of bigger bummers in town, the Yankees fans are not pleased, and they have Nestor Cortez getting shelled yesterday.
And what do we say about Cortez?
He's not good anymore.
One good game, one medium game, one bad game, one terrible game, and then another good game. He's
4-9 now.
Yeah, he's a very
6
tough
runs,
pitcher.
8 hits, 2 walks, 1 K in 4 1/3. He entered yesterday though with a 1.81 ERA in 10 home starts. So he's excellent at home, but
what was that again?
A 1.81 ERA in 10 home starts. That was entering yesterday, but he surrendered a season-high 6 earned runs, including 3 homers, just in the 4th and 5th innings. Is this one of those guys where you got to pull him out before he goes through the order the third time?
I think so.
But the Rays have had this guy's number all season. He generated only 5 swinging strikes on 92 pitches and fell to 0-3 against the Rays in 4 outings this season. On the year, he has a 3.99 ERA, a 1.16 WHIP, and 111 strikeouts in 119 and 2/3 innings. He's going to pitch against the Red Sox in Boston next week.
Okay, I want to thank everybody again for coming into the chat room. And don't forget, Mitchell is here, Malpal, Laura.
I love Penny.
Rolla,
Penny, good morning to you. Keep your man in line, okay?
Well, everybody's in the chat room. It's really terrific.
You gotta love Penny.
We thank you for your loyalty. And the Jays going to be sellers.
Wait a minute. Did she not really say that, Danny, or what?
What? Are the Jays going to be sellers?
No, I'm talking to Danny, Captain Pesky Danny. Okay, well, anyway, regardless of if she said it, I still know she's on my side, and she's good.
I think the Jays will be sellers. They just haven't given me any indication that they can get hot. I picked them. I thought they would do better. Picked them as a playoff team, but they have been really awful. There hasn't been one good stretch for the Blue Jays, and I think it's time to start making some changes.
Chris from Cambridge, who is our resident Blue Jays insider, brings up the fact that the more Kikuchi pitches well, the quicker he won't be a Blue Jay. What do you think of that? The Blue Jays getting rid of Kikuchi. He's showing his stuff right now, trying to get traded.
Well, yeah, I know the Jays will be selling. I thought, as Mitchell Horston says,
Hello, Mitchell.
Jays need to clean house. Yeah, I thought the Jays would be competitive.
Do you think that Vladdy Jr., if he got a change of scenery, could he show what he's really up to?
Well, I think Vladdy Jr. will go in a trade. But I don't suspect it's going to be the blockbuster that we expected because of his name.
Is Bellinger stinking this year, Mitchell? I haven't even looked to see if he's stinking.
And he has been. Okay?
Well, the Cubbies are stinking in general. Their bullpen is the worst in town.
I'll tell you who's not stinking. The New York Mets. 50 wins. 50
Yay!
wins. But the Yankees got their 50 wins.
I can hear Laura cheering us on.
June 14th. The Mets get theirs on July 20th. So how about that?
Okay, fine, but the Yankees, everybody peaks at different times, but the Yankees have won only 9 games since June 14th, okay, because they hit their 50th win on June 14th, and they've only won 9 games since then, but the Mets now are 50 wins, okay? Right, Laura?
Yeah, chat room is looking for a waiver wire pickup, so let me give you one.
How about Yepes?
Yeah, how about Ezekiel Tovar? He's going through an 8-game stretch where he's batting .440, 4 homers, 9 RBIs, and 7 runs.
Ezekiel Tovar,
I'll tell you what, you're going to make a pickup of a player, pick up Ezekiel Tovar. There are players who are better baseball players than fantasy ones.
What about Mitchell, who brings up this tidbit? He says that he doesn't think there's going to be that many trades this year because most teams are still in the hunt, and that just makes me immediately think of how many playoff teams there are with all these wild cards now. And does that affect the trade deadline? Because
absolutely. How do you trade when you're 3 games out?
Right.
How could the Mets make a trade?
Right.
They're always talking about trading first baseman.
Right. There's only
a
couple teams that are like in rebuild mode at this point in the season.
It's going to be horrible. All right, we're expecting a lot of teams, even to tweak their teams. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. Major League Baseball has to do something. They've made all kinds of changes with the trade deadline and trading, but they haven't done the right thing.
Well, you before I interrupted you were talking about how there's players who are better real players than fantasy ones, and Ezekiel Tovar falls into that this year.
No, he's a better fantasy player than a real baseball player.
Yeah.
Okay?
He falls into the latter as he finished the season as the 15th best shortstop, but he had 15 homers, 70 runs, and RBIs, and 70-plus runs and RBIs, and also 11 steals.
Okay, here's another waiver wire pickup. You asked for waiver wire pickup.
Tovar is 79% owned in Yahoo, so we're not helping anyone.
But still, okay? he's available.
How is he available? If Yahoo has him 79% owned, then he's owned 100% in all the competitive leagues.
Well, maybe. How about Brent Rooker?
But we just had a tidbit about Tovar, so we decided to say he was a pickup.
How about Brent Rooker in his 22nd home run?
The guy does nothing else besides hit home runs, okay? He bats like damn Joey Gallo.
Right,
All right, he does have an outside shot at 40 homers this season, okay? So there you go. He's now logged 8 multi-hit efforts in July with 7 home runs and 18 RBIs. Actually, Brett Rooker, look at his batting average. I spoke too soon on him. I'm lying to you people. He's actually got a .294 batting average with 22 homers, 65 RBIs, 47 runs scored, and 5 steals in 352 plate appearances. Those of you who took a chance on Brett Rooker this year.
All right, let me go to the chat room now. Who is your number one pick for next year? Is it Julio Rodriguez? Is it Mike Trout? Is it, who else? Give me some other names.
Well, I didn't hear
Number one pick for next year. Oh. Who is your number?
Gunnar Henderson is who I'm going for next year.
Okay, Gunnar Henderson.
And also you could put, Ellie, I don't know. You're going to have to choose. And I'll tell you some of the players that are falling out of the first round. And, of course, they're all escaping me at the moment, but I will say the players that fall out of the first round: Spencer Strider, Corbin Carroll.
Okay.
Why can't I think of more? There's more that should fall. Okay, chat room, help me out here. Tell me some first rounders that are no longer first rounders this year, and then we can come up with some that will be into the first round this year. And Ellie, he was going in the second round last year.
Most people say that next year, Shohei Ohtani's the number one pick.
All right, you got Ohtani, Acuna, and Witt. They're staying in the first round for
Bobby
sure.
Witt on pace to finish the season with over 200 hits, almost 130 runs, 110 RBIs, 41 doubles, 15 triples. Are you kidding?
28 homers and more than 30 steals, plus he's batting .328.
How could Bobby Witt not be included in first-round picks, number one?
Turd says Paul Skeens will go into the first round. That's a good one.
Okay.
And what about Johnny Cueto?
I think Stardog goes in the first round.
Stardog, welcome aboard, my friend.
There you go.
Okay. How about this? Johnny Cueto agrees to...
Johnny Cueto?
Yeah.
Where'd you get him from?
You know what? There was a fight with Johnny Cueto a while back. It was a long time ago. And
Mitchell and Merrill are back together. Go ahead, sorry.
I couldn't take Johnny Cueto after that because he kicked somebody I think he kicked him in the head. I don't know where he kicked him, but he kicked him with his metal spikes on his shoes, and I didn't like him after that. Here's the deal. The Angels have such crappy team. Is he going to be called up? How long is he going to stay in the minors?
No.
Is he a coach or a pitcher?
You know what? I couldn't.
He agrees to a minor league deal with the Angels.
Yeah, but he's nothing. He's tried a couple of teams have tried him and quickly got rid of him.
I know, but I'm wondering why he's still...
Don't think that Johnny Cueto is a player.
Okay.
Okay.
How about Grayson Rodriguez?
He's a player. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. I'll tell you what, he is showing that he's not far from being an ace. So if you had Grayson Rodriguez, next year as your number one pitcher, you wouldn't be too far off. You might be right on.
So the fact that Paul Skeens is replacing Strider in the first round, it's an interesting idea because it makes me think that this is when I did not draft one share of Strider last year.
Right.
But it doesn't mean he is going to fall out of the first round. How far he drops will be something that I will be honing in on because he did not lose talent just because he got hurt, right? I mean, Skeens now is the risky one in the first round, and Strider will drop to the point where I feel comfortable drafting him. These are the types of guys that I think you should target in drafts. The guys that fall out of the first round because they spent half the year injured. Doesn't mean he's going to be injured next year, although he does throw way too hard for my liking, okay? Anyways, every
Malpal says Cueto may be the Angels' best pitcher. All right?
Yes, I love Manny Machado. So I saw this video that Danny sent me of Manny Machado. One of the fans was screaming at Machado about signing with the Padres instead of the Dodgers, and the Dodgers fan was like, "Manny, you should have came to the Dodgers." And Manny said, "I'll bet you my whole salary on my whole contract that we win a World Series before you."
Wow.
So now the Dodgers fan is at the games yelling at Manny that he owes him $340 million.
Okay.
Because the Dodgers won the World Series, okay? That was pretty good.
All right, let's get the chat room involved in a very tough question. Okay, so put your pens, pencils, and bloody fingers down because you got to think. Every Major League pitcher in history to have back-to-back starts with 10 or more strikeouts while allowing no runs and no more than one hit. Again, 10 strikeouts or more, no runs, and no more than one hit, okay? Back-to-back. Randy Johnson, Max Scherzer, and Mike Clevenger. Who is number 4? And he's still pitching. Every Major League Baseball pitcher in history to have back-to-back starts with 10 or more strikeouts, while allowing no runs and no more than one hit in back-to-back starts. Who are they? You got Randy Johnson, no surprise. Max Scherzer, no surprise. Mike Clevenger.
I'm hot.
And who's number 4? Not Rodon. Okay,
good guess, White Sox out. Good guess. Yes, sir.
Puck, AJ Puck. No,
it's not AJ Puck, but that was a different question.
It's a different question, okay?
Okay, let's give them time to answer, and we'll go on.
It's a tough one.
Garrett Crochet, the biggest trade target of every team that's looking for a great pitcher. Garrett Crochet is under contract through 2026. He has struck out already 150 batters in 107 innings this year.
But he's not going to be traded to a team that's looking for him for this year. He's pitched too many innings this year compared to what he pitched last year.
Here's the question again, Turd. Every MLB pitcher in history to have back-to-back starts with 10 or more strikeouts while allowing no runs and no more than one hit. 3 of them are Randy Johnson, Max Scherzer, and Mike Clevenger, and there's one other one. Boston Paul says Paul Skeens. That's not right.
No, and Scherzer's not right.
So you don't think Crochet is going to a team?
No.
So he's not going to get traded?
Not for this year. He may get traded, but it's not going to be, a team's not going to get him for this year.
Because he's already over in limits?
Oh, he's got a bad arm, and he's pitched over.
If you have Crochet and you don't sell him right now, you're a fool, right?
That's right. That's right. Kershaw for certain, not right.
Turd says he's already got a crush on Kershaw.
Okay.
So Kershaw is high on Turd's mind right now.
Okay, there you go.
I don't blame him. Kershaw's a great guy.
Now, go ahead.
The morning of June 19th, the Astros led the American League West by just percentage points. They trailed by 10 games entering June 19th, which was 1 month earlier. And their 24 games since then are tied for third fewest by a team to erase a division deficit of 10 or more games since divisions began.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So they're really...
They trailed the first place Mariners by 10 games, but a month later they now lead the AL West. But that one we could see coming since we've already pointed out on multiple occasions that the Mariners still have the worst batting average in the league.
And White Sox Al says that they're not even trying to trade Crochet.
No, he said if they do trade him, they're not even trying for the rest of the year.
Well,
it's not Burns.
Yeah, no, because look, What's going on? Okay.
The chat room is going crazy.
I can't keep up with the chat room.
All right, Boston Paul says Cole Reagan. That's a good guess, but that's not it.
Not happening.
The guy is still pitching, but...
Yeah, and he's in the American League. All right, let me tell you that. He's in the American League. And let me just tell you, back-to-back starts with 10 or more strikeouts, allowing no runs back-to-back.
It's not Verlander.
No more than one hit back-to-back.
Good guess.
Who is it? Okay.
It's not Verlander. Okay. Let's just tell him who it is.
It's been Randy Johnson, Scherzer, Clevenger, and a pitcher still pitching.
Oh, Owen says Luis Castillo. That's not it.
Good guess. No, the chat room is great.
Can I guess?
You can't guess. Chat room is giving it. Oh my God! Now Oakland's the first team to score 13 runs in their last game before the All-Star break, and then 13 or more runs in their first game after the All-Star break, okay?
The prior most was 12 by the Brewers. That's pretty
good. Hold it. Timeout.
Yes, we have a winner.
White Sox Al, Dylan Cease. There you go. Dylan Cease.
Good one.
Are you kidding me?
We have the smartest chat room.
Are you kidding me? Nobody in America. Are you kidding me? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We have the smartest people, and yet what do we do with them? We got to do something.
We just hang out with them every day.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I got to tell you, that was tremendous.
Kyle Harrison is the first visitor with multiple scoreless starts of 5 or more innings in a season.
Wow! Again, I can't believe it. I'm about to faint.
Freaking Kyle Harrison, dude. Is he worth a tidbit?
Yeah, he's the first visitor with multiple scoreless starts of 5 or more innings at Coors Field. Okay? So how about that?
He is the 333rd individual season with 2+ starts there as a visitor. He allowed a hit and 4 walks over 5 shutout innings on Friday. He struck out 6 as the Giants lost to Colorado. He does show off his potential, but he doesn't have good command. Okay, he's a 22-year-old southpaw. He did lower his ERA to 3.86 with 79 strikeouts through 91 innings, and he was one of the guys that could have been a breakout according to Malpal's formula.
And here's a great comment by White Sox Al. Saying that Crochet, he was so good that the White Sox had to get rid of him. Okay, there you go.
TJ Friedel, you want to talk about disappointments? Freaking cat has lost my leagues for me, dude.
Well, somebody asked about him
this
before.
This cat is a loser. TJ Friedel.
Yeah.
Depending on how far he drops in this ADP, I might take another chance on him because I'm a glutton for punishment. Anyways, he's slated to head out for another minor league rehab assignment tomorrow. With
only 26 games he's played this year.
He sucks.
Okay, so why do we talk about...
He sucks, but he's still good enough that you can't drop him, right? Because it's always like he's coming back, and then he sucks.
Sometimes we play for potential. And he's got the potential to hit 20 and steal 30.
Yes, he does, if he's healthy.
Well, okay, everybody's got that.
He's stupid. He's not healthy, and he's never going to be healthy. He's got fractured wrist, hamstring problems, everything. All right.
And finally, if you have Bo Bichette,
he's going to be out for weeks.
It's going to be a
weeks on end.
A lot longer than we expected.
But don't drop him still. If you have a spot on your injured list.
All right. Anybody got it? All right. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. 631-406-7141. If you want to make a call, make it now.
Here's something White Sox Al says, too. He's full of nuggets today. He says he thinks that he read that 3 of the top 4 strikeout pitchers are Sox or ex-Sox.
Well, Crochet, Sale, and...
Does that include the Red Sox or just the
I don't know. All right. Boston Paul, Chris from Cambridge, Data Premier, Danny Fuller, James Caplion, the king of all apps, Laura, Leonard Donaldson. Come on. 631-406-7141. Malpal, Mitchell, Merrill. Owen is... Owens is here. Owens, Rotorius, Stardog, SM King Third, Timothy My Hooker, Tommy Johnston, Triple Play, Whitesack Allen Zelmo. Okay, yeah, who will get playing time with Bichette hurt? Bichette's been not surprised that he's out, but who's going to get playing time with Bichette out? It's going to go to somebody's got to have to earn it. I can only tell you the players who are going to be involved in getting a chance to earn the playing time. Okay, and it's going to be pretty simple to figure who they are. Number one, you got wait a second.
Bo Bichette. He's on the 10-day injured list.
You've got
Spencer Horwitz.
It's tough
Is that where he plays? Where does Bo Bichette play? Shortstop?
He plays
second base.
So, you got Spencer Horwitz going to get playing time.
Yes.
Addison Barger is going to get playing time. Ernie Clement is going to get playing time. Wow. Have a good time with those guys.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Triple Play got it. Addison Barger. I'll tell you, this is great. I learned so much. You know, you guys come into the chat room and you listen to the podcast sometimes and you think you may learn something. I learn more than you from the chat room. Okay? But thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. And don't forget, if you'd like to make a call, because you have to, 631-406-7141.